The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Where then do I look for good and evil? Not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself, to choices that are my own. That's Epictetus, Discourses. Reading the Daily Stoic this year. Come along with me. Good way to start the year, because the thinking of Stoic philosophy, differentiating between what we can and what we cannot change, is like the biggest thing with Stoic philosophy. What we have influence over and actually what we don't have influence over. If a flight's delayed, the amount of yelling at the flight attendant will not change the circumstance. Or wishing you were taller, wishing you were shorter will not change your height. No matter how hard you try, you actually can't make people like you sometimes. But there are things you have power over and you can change. So hurling yourself at these immovable objects is wasting time when you could be focusing on things you actually can change. I said in here, the recovery community has this practice. It's called the Serenity Prayer, and it goes, "Serenity now," or it goes, "God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference." You've probably heard that before. And it's a powerful prayer because addicts cannot change the abuse that they've suffered in childhood or undo choices that they made in the past, or even the hurt that they've caused their friends and loved ones. But they can change the future through the power of the present moment, realizing what they have control over. Like Epictetus said, the choices that they make now can be powerful if it's focused in the right areas. So the same is true for us today, January 1. We've got to learn to make sure what things in our day are in our control and which things in our day are actually not. And we focus on things that are in our control, we'll be a lot happier. And we'll also have an advantage of the people who fail to realize this, because they're fighting in an unwinnable battle. And we are choosing the battle that we can win. Let's read it again. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Where then do I look for good and evil? Not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself, to the choices that are my own. Epictetus, Discourses. See you tomorrow.